my dear students, and welcome back to the English online classes. And in the previous few videos, we have completed the very first chapter of your Hornbill, that is The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh. Now, in the first chapter, I dealt with the most important emotion of a human life. That was what we people studied. And a very beautiful example was given, that of the the grandmother of Khushwant Singh, and the sparrows. I'm not going to take you back to that chapter, but this next chapter which I'm going to take over, that is chapter 2 from your very Hornbill, We Are Not Afraid to Die If We Can All Be Together. I love this title. It's been written by Gordon Cook and Alan East. And the reason why I like it? The reason is the family bond which is shown in this chapter. Basically, we humans, we can fight any challenges, any battles that come across in our life if our family stands with us. And moreover, even if circumstances comes where we might feel that the life is going to end, but if the family is there, no fright is there. This story is one such story about a family which comprises of father and mother, naturally, and two children, one 6-year-old and the other one 7-year-old. It so happened that under one particular situation, they all fall as a prey to a very dangerous situation, that too somewhere in the mid of the sea. And then how they all stayed together, the various touchy dialogues, the emotions, that is what the story is about. But I request each and every one of you to please let your imagination work. Feel yourself in a sea voyage. I don't know how many of you have gone for a sea voyage. Sea voyage means the journey via water in an ocean. And I would like you people to imagine it, each and every line, from the start to the end. Then only you can understand the depth, that how when the family stays together, they can overcome any challenges. Any means any challenges. The only thing is to trust, to believe, to have faith on each other, and above all, love each other. Let's begin this chapter. Chapter 2, We Are Not Afraid to Die If We Can All Be Together, by Gordon Cook and Alan East. In July 1976, my wife Mary, son Jonathan, 6, daughter Suzanne, 7, and I set sail from Plymouth, England, to duplicate the round-the-world voyage made 200 years earlier by Captain James Cook. For the longest time, Mary and I, a 37-year-old businessman, had dreamt of sailing in the wake of the famous explorer, and for the past 16 years, we had spent all our leisure time honing our seafaring skills in British waters. Okay, an introductory paragraph, that who all were there in the family and what was the reason behind their sea voyage, why they wanted to go for it. As it has been mentioned in the very first paragraph, that the voyage started in July 1976. This person, means the father of that family, he is a businessman. a 37-year-old businessman. And it so happens that the entire family loves adventure. And his family comprises of him, his wife Mary. Remember, it's not Mary, it is Mary. Mary. And son Jonathan, who is 6 years old, and a daughter named Susan, who is 7 years old. They all set out on the sea voyage in July 1976 from their place, that is Plymouth, England. And what was the purpose of this voyage, you know? It was to duplicate the round the world voyage, which was made somewhat 200 years ago by a captain named James Cook. He says, this 37-year-old businessman, he says that from long time he and his wife, they dreamt of sailing in the wake, means the same pathway which was used by Captain James Cook, the famous explorer. They wanted to duplicate his voyage, means exactly the same pattern of journey. And for this, last 16 years, they had spent all their leisure time, means free time, honing their seafaring skills, means the skills which are required for this kind of voyages. See, my dear students, sea voyage is not a very simple thing, or it's not an act of a child. Basically, in the middle of the sea, you can come across anything, and you need to be very skilled for going on such sea voyages. And because of that reason, what they had been doing, they had been perfecting. Honing means they have been bringing perfection in their seafaring skills. All the skills which were required during this sea voyage, they had been practicing it and bringing perfection in it in the British waters for a long 16 years. Further, our boat Wave Walker, a 23-meter, 30-ton wooden hulled beauty, had been professionally built, and we had spent months fitting it out and testing it in the roughest weather we could find. The first leg of our journey, our planned 3-year, 1,05,000 kilometer journey, passed pleasantly as we sailed down the west coast of Africa to Cape Town. There, before heading east, we took on 2 crewmen, American Larry Vigil and Swiss Segler, to help us tackle one of the world's roughest seas, the Southern Indian Ocean. Now, in the first paragraph, we have seen who all people were there in that 37-year-old businessman's family who wanted to go for this adventurous sea voyage, and what was the reason they wanted to duplicate, what was the purpose behind this sea voyage, and what they had been doing for this sea voyage. Now further, let us speak about their boat. Now their boat, which has been named as Wave Walker, it is a 23-meter, in weight 30-ton, wooden hulled beauty. Wooden hulled beauty means the boat is being made of wood, and because of that reason it has been said wooden hulled beauty. Definitely those who go for the sea voyage and all, they love the ship or the boat or the yacht they use for it. And it has been professionally built. Means it's not that unskilled people have built the boat. It had been built up by the professionally skilled people, and then they had spent months fitting it. Means it was not like that in a moment the boat got prepared. They have taken months to prepare it. Not only that, they have tested the you can say that accuracy or the perfection of the boat in the roughest weather whenever they could find in the British waters. Yes, definitely they had to do this before going into the big ocean. They have to just check out the working of the boat, the perfection of the boat, or you can say that whether it was enough to handle the situation, So they had tested it out. Then, according to the narrator, he says that the first leg, here leg doesn't mean our leg. Here leg, it is a terminology being used during the sea voyage. Like the first leg means the first part of their planned journey. Planned journey was around of 3 years, and the kilometer that they had to cover was 1,05,000. And the first part of this entire journey was very pleasant one. They did it very well. They have sailed down the west coast of Africa to Cape Town. Means from Africa to Cape Town. It had been really a good journey. But then from Cape Town they were going to move towards the east, and they were going to enter into the most roughest seas. That's the southern Indian Ocean, which is considered to be very rough, very arrogant, and very atrocious, or very dangerous in its mood. And because of that reason, to have helping hand, extra helping hand, they hired 2 crewmen. Now crewmen, crew means the people, those who are in a team. They are called as the crew, those who form the team to work out on a process. And here they have appointed, or they have hired 2 people. One was an American, his name was Larry Vigil, and the other fellow was a Swiss. His name, it was Herb Sagler. I hope these 3 paras are totally clear to each and every one of you. So let's proceed further. On our second day out of Cape Town, we began to encounter strong gales. For the next few weeks, they blew continuously. Gales did not worry me, but the size of the waves was alarming. Up to 15 meters, as high as our mainmast. My dear students, if we had been in the classroom, at least I could have explained it with, you can say that some pics or some kind of an action, all the things that had been going around in this lesson. So now you just have to use your imagination, and I hope each and every student of mine is able enough to do that. Here it is given on the very second day out of the Cape Town. See, earlier itself the narrator said that they were entering into the most dangerous sea, and because of that reason they hired 2 crewmen also. And now when they were second day out of Cape Town, they started encounter. I hope all of you know what is the meaning of encounter, to be face to face with something. They encountered strong gales. Here gales means wind. So strong wind started blowing, and for the next few weeks they had been blowing very strongly in the sea. They have entered into the Indian Ocean. Then he says that gales were not the reason of worry. He was not worried about the wind which was blowing so strongly, so hard, but he was actually worried about the size of the waves, which was really arising alarming tension within him. Waves. If you ever had gone in a ship and right in the center of an ocean, where when you see around you can see only water, and front of your eyes the wave is going very high up, it is really very you can say that disturbing scene. So here also he says that the strong wind was not any reason of worry, but the problem was the size of waves. He even says that the size of the waves were somewhere like 15 meters, as high as our main mast. Now when we coming to the main mast, I'll just show you a picture which is given over there in the textbook itself. It's the pic of basically a boat itself. It is given over there, and here you can see that the sail is there. Sail means the cloth which is used for the movement of the ship or a boat, according to the wind direction. And then one long pole will be there to which that sail will be attached. That's called as the mast. Okay, so let's go back to the portion in which he says that it was around 15 meters high, somewhat near about the size of the main mast. So now this was really something of a tension situation. You can say that it was really something to be worried of. You can just imagine a boat is there in the ocean and the waves are as high, literally as the height of the boat. With the mast, I am taking the height of the boat. Then further he says, December 25 found us 3,500 kilometers east of Cape Town. Despite atrocious weather, we had a wonderful holiday complete with a Christmas tree. New Year's Day saw no improvement in the weather, but we reasoned that it had to change soon. And it did change for the worse. Now they have already moved out of Cape Town and they had entered into the Indian Ocean. He says that by December 25th, they had traveled around 3,500 kilometers east of Cape Town. Weather was the same. Weather was very atrocious, very wild the weather was. And even though the weather was wild, they have celebrated Christmas, means December 25th, with a beautiful Christmas tree. And he says that it was like they had a complete Christmas bash. And then they expected that the New Year Day might have some improvement. But they could not see any kind of improvement in the weather. And we thought that, means the family thought that maybe with the passage of time, as they entered into the new year, things will change. Yeah, definitely. The things changed. But for worse. Means, aur bura hua. For worse. Now further, at dawn on January 2, the waves were gigantic. We were sailing with only a small storm jib and were still making 8 knots. As the ship rose to the top of each wave, we could see endless, enormous seas rolling towards us, and the screaming of the wind and spray was painful to the ears. To slow the boat down, we dropped the storm jib and lashed a heavy mooring rope in a loop across the stern. Then we double lashed everything, went through our life raft drill, attached lifelines, donned oilskins and life jackets, and waited. Now, easy to say, easy for me to read, easy for you to understand maybe. But a person who goes through all these things, it is really dangerous and I think an unforgettable experience. So now, 25th December went off very well. After that, they expected New Year arrival to be a good one. But it was other way round. It turned worse. At the dawn on January 2. Means just early morning, 2 o'clock. The waves were gigantic. Means very great height, big in size. And they were sailing with only a small storm jib. Now here jib means the sail. You might have seen the cloth used in the boat, tied up from the top to the bottom of the main mast. In Hindi, we people call it as patwar. And this is used for moving the boat according to the wind in a particular direction. And he says that they were having only a storm jib and they were able to make 8 knots. 8 knots means the distance being traveled. It's again a terminology used in sea voyage. And what happened is that, just imagine this. As the ship rose to the top of each wave, we could see endless, enormous seas rolling towards us. And the screaming of wind and spray was painful to the ears. You just imagine, you're standing right in the stern part. Stern part means the front part of the ship. You all have seen Titanic, right? Maybe some not, but still you might have seen Titanic. And you might have seen that how the hero and the heroine, they went and stood on the deck over there in the front part. spreading out their arms. Obviously it was a romantic pose, but still, just to make you people understand, you just think, if you are standing right over there on the deck near the stern means the front part, and the ship rises up like it's going vertically up, and with each wave it is going up, and when you look around you can see nothing but endless enormous sea. Means you can't see the other end of the sea. Every time whenever the ship goes up, with each wave you can see around a sea which seems to be endless. Not only that, the wind, the strong wind, it seems like it's screaming in the ears. And spray here means whenever the boat goes up and comes down, the splashes of water comes in, and it keeps hitting, and that was very painful to the ears. What they did then, now they have the priority to slow down the speed of the ship or the boats. Ship is the word that keeps on coming over my tongue again and again, but you remember it's the boat we are talking about, the wave walker. And now the wave walker speed has to be reduced. It was very necessary, and because of that reason, what they did, they have dropped the storm jib. The reason is there, that is, when the storm jib will be dropped down, wind will not hit, and when wind will not hit, it will not take the boat speedily front, so the speed of the boat is under control. Then they lashed a heavy mooring rope in a loop across the stern. Means mooring rope, you might have seen the thick ropes which are used in the ships, boats, all those things. So what they did, they took a heavy mooring rope and then they tied a loop, means a kind of a knot was made, and then it was put across the stern. उसको सामने के हिस्से के साथ बांध दिया. Then we double lashed everything, went through our life raft drill, attached lifelines, donned oilskins and life jackets, and waited. Then the next step, what they did, they double lashed, means twice they tied up all the things that they had on the boat, like a life raft drill was there, attached lifelines, means the numerous amount of things like jackets are there, wings are there, small boats are there. Then the donned oilskins, means for wrapping up the things they will have the plastic sheets, then life jackets, all these things they double lashed, and then they just waited. I will continue with the rest of the part in the next video. Till then, take care and